This was the moment the Beckham feud stopped being a quiet family rift and turned into an all-out public war. Because for the first time ever, Brooklyn Beckham has broken his silence, and what he said has stunned fans around the world. Before we get into this, and trust me, you'll want to hear every detail, make sure you're subscribed. Because this story is moving fast, and the fallout from this statement is only just beginning. Brooklyn didn't just post a caption, he didn't hint, he didn't subtweet. He published a 6-page public statement accusing his own parents, David Beckham and Victoria Beckham, of controlling him, manipulating his image, and prioritizing brand Beckham over genuine family love. And according to Brooklyn, the villain isn't who the public has been told it is. He claims he was controlled, that he was silenced, and that only after marrying Nicola Peltz did he finally find peace and relief. It's an extraordinary claim, and one that cuts straight to the heart of this family. But here's where things get complicated, because while Brooklyn insists he's standing up for himself for the first time, many people watching believe they're seeing something very different. A spoiled Nepo baby, raised in unimaginable privilege, now rewriting history and breaking his parents' hearts in the process. Brooklyn says he's been silent for years, that he tried to keep things private, that he had no choice but to speak. But this wasn't a quiet statement. This was a scorched earth declaration. He openly stated he does not want reconciliation, that he is done, that he is choosing distance, permanently. And the timing matters. This comes after months of escalating behavior, blocking his parents, blocking his siblings, issuing legal notices telling David and Victoria to contact him only through lawyers, skipping milestone events, and now, finally, going public. Brooklyn claims his parents value publicity above everything else. That family love is measured in Instagram posts and photo ops. But let's pause here. Because this is David Beckham we're talking about, a man whose reputation, for decades, has been built not just on success, but on devotion to his family. A father who publicly praises his children constantly, who posts throwbacks, not promotions, who still calls Brooklyn my boy, even after being blocked. And Victoria Beckham, whatever you think of her brand, has always spoken about motherhood as her greatest role. So, when Brooklyn accuses them of manipulation and control, people are asking a very simple question. If this is abuse, why did it only become abuse after Nicola entered the picture? Brooklyn traces the fracture back to his wedding. He accuses Victoria of canceling Nicola's dress at the last minute, claims she hijacked the first dance, says his family humiliated his wife. But here's what stands out. Every single grievance Brooklyn lists centers on Nicola, not his brothers, not his sister Harper, not his grandparents, who he still speaks to, just Nicola. And that's where many fans feel uneasy, because Brooklyn repeatedly insists he is not being controlled by his wife. Yet his entire narrative mirrors hers. He claims his parents tried to bribe him into signing away rights to his name, that they pressured him financially, that they tried to sabotage his relationship. But there's no independent evidence, no documents, no confirmation, only his word. And while Brooklyn says he's finally free, he is now isolated from almost everyone who raised him. That doesn't look like independence to a lot of people. It looks like someone who has burned every bridge except one. Brooklyn paints his childhood as suffocating, as anxiety-ridden, as performative. Yet that same childhood gave him opportunities most people will never experience. Private schooling, global travel, unlimited career pivots, photography, cooking, branding, all funded and supported. This wasn't a trapped child. This was a protected one. And now, at 26, he's retroactively framing privilege as oppression. And here's the part that hits hardest. Brooklyn says he doesn't want image, press, or manipulation. Yet, he posted this statement publicly, on Instagram, for millions to see, knowing full well it would dominate headlines worldwide. That is not privacy. That is control of the narrative. And that's where many believe Nicola Peltz enters the story again. Brooklyn insists she is his rock, that she saved him, that she gave him peace. But critics say something else. They say Nicola didn't free Brooklyn, she replaced his parents. And instead of helping him build bridges, she helped him burn them. Look at the pattern. After the wedding fallout, distance begins. After vow renewals, exclusion increases. After legal letters, communication collapses. After blocking, public attack. And now, Brooklyn declares war. He accuses his mother of inappropriate behavior at his wedding, claims humiliation in front of 500 guests, claims his family called Nicola not blood. These are explosive allegations, and once said, they cannot be unsaid. If reconciliation was ever possible before, this statement makes it infinitely harder. Meanwhile, David and Victoria have remained silent. No rebuttal, no counterstatement, no mudslinging, just heartbreak. Sources close to the family describe them as devastated, confused, and still hopeful, despite being told explicitly that Brooklyn does not want them in his life. And let's not forget the collateral damage: Romeo, Cruz, Harper, a teenage sister watching her big brother erase the family she still lives in, grandparents who still speak to Brooklyn quietly behind the scenes, parents who are now legally required to stay silent. Brooklyn says he found peace, but peace that requires cutting off everyone who raised you isn't peace, it's retreat. This feels less like liberation and more like someone who has been convinced that distance equals strength. Brooklyn wants the world to believe this is autonomy, but many see a young man, raised in privilege, mistaking discomfort for trauma, and choosing loyalty to one person over an entire family. And here's the tragedy. David and Victoria aren't perfect. No parents are. But they showed up. They supported him. And they are still leaving the door open. Brooklyn just slammed it shut, publicly. If you want updates as this story continues, and it will, make sure you're subscribed. Because this isn't just a celebrity feud anymore. It's a family fracture being played out in real time. And once words like these are said, there may be no way back. If you want continued updates on this story as it develops, and trust me, it will, make sure you're subscribed. Because this Beckham feud isn't cooling down, it's hardening. And once family estrangement reaches this level, it rarely goes quietly.